Buenos dias, Español Uno. Welcome to our second day of e-learning. I hope things went well yesterday, and I hope you're excited for another round of e-learning. Hopefully, we'll be back together tomorrow in class on Thursday. We're going to take some time today and talk through, hopefully you have already downloaded the notes from our Canvas page, so you should have that template out that you're going to use to take some notes as I walk you through some grammar. We're going to talk today about the verb gustar, which you learned last semester. You are familiar with gustar, and we're going to add in its sister verb, encantar. These two verbs are related, and we're going to talk about these two verbs today and how to use them. So, gustar, really, to begin with, it's not what you think. Its nearest equivalent in English means to please. For example, when I say me gusta la pizza, technically it means pizza pleases me, but again, that's not how we speak in English. We translate to say, I like pizza. All right, the verb encantar works in the same way. Literally, it means to enchant. So when I say me encanta la pizza, we're saying pizza enchants me, but we don't speak like that in English. We would say, I love pizza. So me gusta la pizza, I like pizza. Me encanta la pizza, I love pizza. But again, if we look at it, what it literally would mean, pizza pleases me and pizza enchants me. So we're going to talk about these two verbs today, and they're very different. They don't work the way that most verbs work. We just spent the last month learning how to conjugate verbs that end in AR with o, as, a, amos, aisan. Well, with these two verbs, again, they don't work that same way. So we're going to walk through this today. And again, take some notes as you go along, pause the video when you need to, rewind it, whatever it takes, and we'll do some practice with this idea today, and we'll continue with this idea into the rest of the week and next week. So, word order is dramatically different than a conventional sentence in Spanish when we're using sentences with gustar and encantar. Me gusta la pizza or me encanta la pizza. We'll come back to that model. Notice when you look at this that the grammatical subject of the sentence appears after the verb. La pizza is the subject of these sentences, and again, it comes after the verb because my verb is gusta and encanta. Also notice that with gustar and encantar, we use me. We're not using yo. So that's why these verbs are very different. It's always me gusta or me encanta. All right, the structure of all these sentences, speaking in very grammatical terms, it's the object plus the verb plus the subject. So me is the indirect object pronoun, gusta or encanta is the verb, and the subject is la pizza. With a standard sentence like we've been working with for the last month or so, it would be something like yo como la pizza. All right, it's typically subject, verb, object. All right, so very, very different. If we compare these to English, again, they're not at all similar. And again, I know this is kind of grammar heavy, but we need to kind of have this foundation to go forward. Me gusta la pizza, me is an indirect object pronoun, gusta is our verb, and la pizza is the subject in Spanish. That same sentence in English, I like pizza, looks very different. The subject is I, the verb is like, and the direct object is pizza. So again, they're not similar. They're very, very different with gustar and encantar. So, in Spanish, when we're using gustar and encantar, indirect object pronouns are required. Me, te, le. We'll look at those in just a second. Subject pronouns are not used with gustar and encantar. So all those subject pronouns, yo, tú, él, ella, usted, that we use with all the regular AR verbs we've been learning for the past month, we don't use these with gustar and encantar because we have to use indirect object pronouns. Me gusta la pizza. Another example, te gusta la hamburguesa y al señor le gusta la pizza. So we see the me, we see the te, and we see a le again down here. These are indirect object pronouns. We have to use those with verbs like gustar and encantar. So what we're going to talk about today is all we've learned so far is to say me gusta and te gusta. Well, actually, we can use gusta or gustan and encanta or encantan. So how do we know if it should be gusta or gustan? What determines to make it an A ending or an AN ending? Well, let's go back to what we know already from last semester. Me gusta la pizza, or since we learned encantar today, we could also say me encanta la pizza. When we have a singular item here like la pizza is singular, that's my subject. If it's singular, then my verb also has to be singular to agree with it. All right? Let's try another one. We learned this last semester too. Te gusta comer la pizza or me encanta comer la pizza. Anytime we have an infinitive phrase like me gusta comer, me gusta bailar, me gusta estudiar, it's always going to be gusta. Why? Because it's followed by an infinitive phrase. So if we look here, gusta, if it's followed by an infinitive, it's always going to be the A. Okay? How about down here? A la señora Piper le gustan la pizza y la ensalada. Well, we notice that gusta has now changed to gustan. Or another example, a la señora Piper le encantan los tacos y las ensaladas. We have gustan and encantan. What happened? Why did it have to change from an gusta to gustan? Well, you guys are getting really good at grammar. You're getting pretty smart at grammar, and let's put your grammar hats on for a second. Why do you think that changed? Well, it's because we have plural items now. La pizza in that example at the top was singular. If la pizza is singular, comer was my infinitive here. La pizza is singular, so gusta has to be singular. Down here we have los tacos y las ensaladas. That's plural. So if that's plural, my verb also has to be plural. Encanta needs to be encantan. Or la pizza and la ensalada, we're talking about two things here. That means my verb has to be plural. Okay? So what we're going to talk about and work with for the next several days are more indirect object pronouns. You've learned me gusta and you've learned te gusta. I like and you like. But what if we want to say he likes, she likes, they like, we like? How do we do that? Well, this chart is going to be one we're going to work with a lot. So those are my pronouns. We see me, te, le, nos, os, and les. And those are 6 pronouns that we've got to memorize. We're going to be using those quite a bit. Me gusta refers back to what, I like. Te gusta, what do you like? Le is that idea of he or she or you formal. Nos would be what we like. Les, what do they like or what do all of you like? Now what you see over here is some phrases. These are actually indirect objects, and these are indirect object pronouns. But in Spanish, we've learned to say me gusta comer la pizza. We can also say a mí me gusta comer la pizza. What does this a mí do? It emphasizes or it really stresses who likes the pizza. A mí me gusta. Same thing with down here. We note te gusta la pizza or te gusta bailar. We can also say a ti te gusta bailar. That a ti really stresses or emphasizes who's doing the liking. Now down here with le, anytime we want to talk about a person specific, like I'm talking about Dr. Ginder, or I'm talking about Juan, I'm talking about Sarah, what I have to do in Spanish is I have to use this a phrase. I have to say a Juan le gusta la pizza. I can't just say Juan le gusta. That a has to be there. It's required. So when we're talking about a person specifically, a Juan le gusta, a Sara le gusta, a Dr. Ginder le gusta. We've got to use that a phrase followed by the person's name, just like we say on the chart off to the left. Over here, we could say a nosotros nos gusta la pizza. We like the pizza. Or if we want to say, my friend and I like the pizza. Again, we don't use subject pronouns, the yo, tú, él, ellos, so we can't use those with this type of grammar. We say a mi amigo y a mí nos gusta la pizza. And that a phrase repeats. It starts here and it repeats over here. And then with les, what they like or what all of you like, again, we've got to use that a phrase. Al Dr. Ginder y a la señora Ginder les gusta la pizza. Or a Juan y a Sara les gusta la pizza. We've got to use the a phrase in front of their names, and that les corresponds to a Juan y a Sara because we're talking about what they like to do. So this chart's going to be really important, and we'll practice some and come back to this chart here in just a second. Okay? Making ideas negative, if you want to make something negative with Grupo Gustar, we put a no in front of the object pronoun. So, no me gusta la pizza. No me encanta la pizza. All right? A la señora Piper no le gusta la pizza. A la señora Piper no le encanta la pizza. All right, so the no is always going to go directly in front of the indirect object pronoun. If we want to form questions, we've been working with sí and no questions. ¿Te gusta la pizza? ¿Te encanta la pizza? Sí, me gusta la pizza. Or no me encanta la pizza. If it's with an interrogative, our questions that aren't yes or no, or we can do something like, ¿Qué te gusta? ¿Qué te gusta comer? ¿Dónde te gusta comer? So, what do you like? What do you like to eat? Where do you like to eat? So that requires more than just a yes or no answer. Okay, let's go through and do a little bit of practice before we wrap up with a Canvas quiz to see if you've got this idea. So hopefully you're doing well with your notes and you're caught up with me here. So I want you to decide, do we need gusta or do we need gustan? So here's our first example. A Gloria le beber el café. Do we need gusta or gustan? Well, hopefully you just said gusta. Why gusta? Well, because it's followed by an infinitive phrase. There's the word beber. Now look at I've got these colors for a reason. A Gloria le. Those two go together. Gloria matches up with this le. Gusta goes along with what comes next. All right, so a Gloria le gusta beber el café. A Vicente le el arroz más que la ensalada. Would it be gusta or gustan? Well, hopefully you just said gusta. Why do we need gusta? Because el arroz is singular, so gusta also has to be singular. If the subject is singular, the verb has to be singular. A José le comer en la clase de español. Hopefully you said gusta. Why is it gusta? Well, it's followed by an infinitive, and we have an infinitive after gustar. It's always going to be the singular verb. A mí me los tacos. Gusta or gustan? A mí me gustan los tacos. So los tacos is plural, means my verb also has to be plural. Me gustan los tacos. Let's try another one. A Ana y a Sara les comer la banana. Les gusta comer la banana. Again, we follow by an infinitive, so that means we have to use the singular form of gustar. Let's mix it up a little bit. Let me give you now the form of gustar. I'm going to have you tell me what pronoun is missing. So, a la señora Piper encantan las enchiladas. We need me, te, le, nos, os, or les. Hope you said le. A la señora Piper le encantan las enchiladas. Le matches up with a la señora Piper. And again, encantan, why is that plural? Because enchiladas is plural. If we go back to our chart from a second ago, again, we're talking about a la señora Piper, down in this category, matches up with the indirect active pronoun le. A Tomás y a Mateo no encanta comer los jalapeños. Pronoun that's missing should be les. A Tomás y a Mateo nos le encanta comer los jalapeños. Why les? All right, over here we have the example of a Mateo y a Tomás. We're talking about two people. What they like requires the pronoun les. Let's try another one. Y a ti encantan las verduras. What pronoun? Y a ti te encantan las verduras. Do you love vegetables? Encantan verduras, those two match up. It's plural and plural. Why do we use the te here? It has to go back with a ti. Those two agree. Those two match up. So if we look over here, a ti corresponds with te. Let's try another one. A tu familia encanta preparar la pizza. A tu familia le encanta preparar la pizza. So a tu familia goes back and agrees with over here. Does your family, does it like pizza? Let's try one more. A mí encanta ir a cebollas. What are we missing? A me, te, le, nos, os, or les? A mí me encanta ir a cebollas. All right, why me? Because it agrees with a mí. Well, I hope that helped explain some of the grammar. We're going to wrap up here with a Canvas quiz. And that Canvas quiz will take you to some practice that's going to be right here. And as you go through that Canvas quiz, I'll show you just a quick preview. There are two sections. In one section, you're going to decide, do you need me, te, le, nos, os, or les, like we practice? So, al señor Piper, le gusta comer la comida mexicana. Le agrees with al señor Piper. In the second part, you're going to decide, gusta or gustan, encanta or encantan. All right, so al Pedro le comer la carne, Le encanta comer because we have an infinitive phrase. Good luck, guys. You have any questions? Let me know. Thanks.